Не так, как я люблю тебя. И вот в чем вся хрень. Я хочу только тебя. Не всегда только тебя.
I'll be completely honest here, but I wasn't personally the biggest fan of Heated Rivalry when I first started watching it. For me, it had a bit of a rough start that didn't enrapture me like I wanted it to, and that's because I didn't feel attached to Shane and Ilya's relationship. But it was this scene that completely changed my mind on it. Even though I wasn't the biggest fan at the start, I decided to continue on watching since it was airing weekly and one episode every week didn't feel like too much of a commitment. But it wasn't until the end of episode 4 that I really started to be impressed with the series. The all the things she said cheat code, if you will. However, I already talked about that before. Episode 5 is where the heartstrings really started to be pulled on. While Shane and Ilya's relationship is most definitely a slow burn, considering that it takes place over the course of like 9 years, I didn't feel emotionally connected to their relationship. I could see the physicality and how much they enjoy being with each other, but they also never talk about their feelings, or they just get outright pushed down and ignored. There are instances of obvious care, like in episode 2, but they don't last long. So I always felt like I was missing that draw to them that would make me want to say that this is a great love story. Hunter and Kip had a whole episode dedicated to them, and they managed to hit a lot of emotional points very quickly, and I'm sure they were able to draw in a lot of people and get them connected to those characters fairly fast. Their story was important to tell so that when you see the ending of episode 5, you can really feel the power and strength that Hunter decided to take in his action to kiss Kip on national television, and can even understand why it was such a powerful moment for Shane and Ilya as well. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. The scene that I really want to talk about is the phone call in episode 5. But before I continue, I would just like to say that if you like these kinds of videos, then please subscribe. While this isn't necessarily a Heated Rivalry channel, I like to take a look at different TV shows or movies on the channel, so if that's something that you're interested in, join along. The phone call is a 5-minute monologue that ends in a love confession, and there was nothing I could do about it as an audience member, but listen to this man lay his heart out to the man that he loves in a language he can't even understand. It was clear this feeling was eating Ilya from the inside out, but there was nothing he could do about it. To love Shane is to leave everything that he has known back home, and while his home was never the greatest memory and support for him, it doesn't mean it's easy to let go. You know a scene is good when you don't even realize how long it's been going on for, and there was nothing fancy schmancy trying to keep your attention. It's a seemingly very simple scene, maybe not to act out, considering that apparently Connor Story, the actor for Ilya, is not a native Russian speaker, so to deliver such a heartfelt monologue with all the emotion that it needed to be shared to the screen is extremely impressive. Granted, I also don't speak Russian, so I can't really say whether the dialogue sounded or felt natural, but I definitely believed it, so maybe that counts for something? When Shane suggested that Ilya speak to him in Russian just to get his troubles off of his chest, it was honestly one of the sweetest things I've ever heard, and you can see it in his face that he cares about Ilya so much when he's listening to him talk. This whole scene really flipped my view on the series and gave me all those fluttering feelings that I was hoping for. The yearners have reached their true potential with this scene alone, and it's not like Ilya went into this whole speech with the intention to confess his love for Shane, but that's where it ultimately led him. This is inarguably one of the worst times in Ilya's life, and he is in a country that has nothing left for him, with a family that only seems to resent his existence. He provides all he can with the money he makes, but it doesn't seem to matter because everyone just wants more out of him. There's only one person there that loves him, and he loves back, and that would be Svetlana, someone we've met in the series before, and we can see that they share a deep love for each other, but it's just not the same as what he feels for Shane. So when the ending of episode 5 happens and Ilya says,
I'm coming to the cottage.
I popped off a little bit, and then I couldn't believe I had to wait a week, because now I'm excited for the next episode, which was completely different to how I was watching the show before, since it was more of a low commitment thing that I wasn't really waiting for, but I would just put on when I remembered that it had already aired. But now I had that feeling where you're anticipating something for the entire week. I know I said it before, but this scene genuinely changed my perception of the show, and it changed my entire rating of the show too. I made a review video, and by the end of it, I ended up giving the show like a 9 out of 10. Originally, my score was near a 7 or so, but episode 4, 5, and 6 really changed everything. Looking back, I don't think the first 3 episodes are bad at all or anything, but they didn't give me what I wanted out of them. So this is obviously a personal opinion, which was an emotional connection. To be fair, though, that is mainly because our main characters also weren't ready to give us that either. So it's not like that for nothing. Even at this point in the story, I don't think Shane and Ilya are fully ready to give into their feelings. And when I say this point in the series, I don't mean episode 6, I mean episode 5. You can see it on Ilya's face clear as day when he realizes he's about to tell Shane that he loves him, that it even pains him to say it. He says maybe to going to the cottage, which is pretty much a no. Even Shane is at his most honest when he is delusional from the medicine he was taking after his injury.
I was gonna ask you, Hollander, will you come to my cottage this summer? Don't go to Russia. Come to my house. We'll have so much fun. It's so private. No one will know.
Wonder, you know we can't do that.
We could have a week or even 2. Be completely alone.
Well, that's actually not entirely true. He was trying his absolute best when he was coming out to Ilya in episode 5 as well. Actually, now that I'm writing this out, there was so much that happened in episode 5 emotionally that I can't believe it was only an hour long. It really is the big emotional turning point of the season, and it's episode 5, so it kind of needed to be since there wasn't that much time left, since there was only 6 episodes. The phone call was everything that it needed to be for me to get invested in the show in a way that I wanted.